What's happening, people? This is Cal Can Fly with my wife Emily.
Hello.
And we are going to do a spoiler review of Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah.
We did get to see the movie a little early because it isn't due to drop until Friday. But the movie is fantastic.
Oh my God, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was great.
We
Loved it.
really enjoyed it. So I made some notes knowing that we were going to do this review. So I'll run through some of the scenes, some of the things that we thought about those scenes, and we'll discuss it. So strap in. We're going to run through this. I've got 3 pages of notes. But yeah, let's get to it. Before we do, please do smash a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that too. But the movie really kicks off in 1989. It takes you back to the racetrack, the race games of the Toretto family. Their dad, Dom's dad, at that time is, racing. And you get to see a young Dom.
You do.
It is a different actor. They don't de-age him like in some of the Marvel movies. So they he looks to be about 18, you think? 19 maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get to see a young Dom, and you also get to see a young Jacob. Not right away. That does come a little bit later in the movie, but they're there at the racetrack. Dad's car flips.
Yeah.
And not good.
Not
big
good at all.
fiery mess. Dom's trying to shout out stuff on the headset to him, how the race is going, who's coming to get him. Somebody clips him, it flips, and he's gone.
He's gone. He just blows up.
Yeah.
Right in front of him.
So after that scene, you get Dom and little Brian. And them all at their house. They're out in the middle of nowhere, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the team just shows up.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
Out of nowhere, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys don't carpool. Like something's going on." So they explain that Cypher had gotten, I guess, rescued from a plane.
Yes.
So somebody hijacks this plane and takes Cypher.
Yes.
The plane goes down, and the team was sent a coded message from Mr. Nobody.
Right.
The team has to then go kind of track down this plane and see what happened, all that good stuff. So Dom was kind of reluctant at first because of little Brian.
No, he was scared too. You could tell he was scared too.
Yeah. So
it's like he wanted to go, but yet he didn't want to go. He thought of little Brian, his son. You know, he's already lost his mother. Now what happens if he loses me? Right. So, yeah.
Now, in the end, he does end up going.
Yes.
He doesn't want to let the team down.
It was a last minute thing, actually.
Yeah.
Very last minute thing, him showing up.
They head out to Monte Quinto. To kind of go over all of the wreckage and see what it was that whoever took that plane down was looking for.
Right.
And the area the plane came down in was a military, not a facility, but it was a military guarded area.
Yes.
And, car chases and bullets and,
Yeah. It was crazy scene.
Yeah.
It was really intense.
They start all driving through this minefield, and there's mines going off everywhere.
Blowing up.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy scene. But, the type of stuff that you do usually see in Fast and Furious movies. But it was a pretty epic scene.
Yeah, for sure.
This is when Jacob, John Cena's character, shows up.
Yeah.
And Dom realizes that he's behind the plane going down.
Brother.
Yeah.
His brother's behind it all.
From that point, they head over to the Caspian Sea.
Yep.
There's a bunch of tunnels. They've got this new hideout, and Dom's sister shows up.
Yes.
And then they find out more about what happened, or what Jacob was looking for. So basically, they were looking for this project called Project Ares. And Project Ares was this basically a computer program that is designed to take over any other computer in the world. Mm-hmm. So they would technically be able to take over weapon systems and wage war.
Yeah.
All that.
Everything.
Stuff. Yeah. So, basically the fate of the world was going to depend upon them, stopping Dom's brother, stopping Jacob.
They needed to get this device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They figure out that Han's death was somehow connected to the key for this device.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up having to go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And the group kind of split up into different groups, and they kind of go all over. There's a flashback scene where Dom is in prison.
Yes.
At that point, and he figures out that his brother was behind his father's death.
Right.
Because there was a hairline crack in the fuel line. Mm-hmm. And, his brother was the last one under the hood before the race. So that kind of adds fuel to the fire of the brother dynamic. Then there's another flashback scene where you see young Dom and Jacob drag racing after Dom found out. And he
got out of prison.
Yeah, after he got out of prison. And Dom gave him an ultimatum. If you win... How do you say that? It was, if you win, you get to stay here. But if I win, then you just keep driving.
Yeah,
and you
just keep going. Back. Never look back.
And Dom ends up winning the race. So his brother just left. He kept driving. It jumps to Tokyo where Dom's sister and his girlfriend are, and how they're looking for connections to Han. Mm-hmm. And they meet I guess it ends up being Han's adoptive daughter. And then they're fighting some dudes that are coming after him, and those fight scenes were pretty epic with those women. Yes.
I mean, it was top notch. Yeah. I mean, they kicked ass big time. It was great.
It was. It really was. Those fight scenes were very, very well done. And, they do get into a bit of trouble towards the end of the fight, and some gunshots go off. And you find out that Han is still alive.
Yes.
He shot some of the guys that were still left over.
Mm-hmm.
Then some of the guys went to Cologne and were looking for vehicles. And there was a vehicle that was it was a jet testing site, and there was a Pontiac Fiero that had a rocket engine strapped to the back of it that they raced down the track, and it ends up blowing up and into a bunch of pieces after the race is over, which was pretty funny. But they were racing a plane.
Actually.
With that car. Yeah.
Yes.
Racing a plane.
Yes.
But crazy. Dom found out that his brother was somewhere in London. So he goes and looks up Queenie. Mm-hmm. And that scene was great. That she had just got done stealing a necklace, and he's in the passenger seat, she's driving, and they're having this conversation. The cops are,
and she acts like there's nothing wrong, like casual driving conversation, doing the stick. It's normal, like nothing, like
drifting around corners.
Just like nothing. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. But she ends up, she knew where Jacob was, ends up taking him to him. Mm-hmm. Dom goes in, he and Jacob have words, I'm not your little brother anymore, that guy's dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was just, that scene alone was really intense.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. And then Dom gets arrested because the place that he was at was an embassy. So technically he was trespassing. So he's in an Interpol van, and come to find out that all the people, the people take off the masks inside the van. They're sitting there with him, and one of the people was Cardi B. And she obviously she knew him and kind of rescued him from that situation.
Right.
And let him go. So that was
kind of cool. And it was all women.
Yeah, it was all women.
There was no men. There was all women who rescued him.
Yeah, it was kind of
cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Jacob then goes and finds the other piece of Ares that he needed.
Yes.
And some of the guys are fighting inside this van that has a giant electromagnet in it.
Huge magnet.
This is really where Jacob and Dom fight the most. Is in London. Yes. When Jacob is like ziplining through the city, and Dom like runs off a rooftop and just grabs him, and they go through a window. And then they're kicking each other's ass, and then Jacob starts running.
Yes.
And Dom's just chasing. But the I forget her name, but the English girl, that's the tech girl, she jumps inside the electromagnetic van, and they're chasing Jacob, and she turns on the electromagnet.
Right.
And it just pulls his car right to the side of the van. I think that part was in the trailer.
Yes, that was awesome.
It was cool. Pulled him right through a building.
Yeah. Just through everything.
So they end up taking... They take Jacob to that new hangout or hideout that they have,
right,
and kind of have him locked up. But Jacob's people come and get him, surrounds all of the gang. Yeah, it was pretty intense at that point, because they start having words, and you're the reason Dad died, and I'm glad he didn't see you turn out this way.
Yeah, they were saying pretty nasty things to one another.
Yeah, and then Jacob reveals that their dad was in like financial debt and financial problems, and he was actually going to throw that race.
Yes.
And he told him that his dad had basically asked him to help by cracking the fuel line.
Right.
So Dom's kind of coming to the realization that maybe it wasn't all of his brother's fault. And, he had a part to play in the fact that his dad thought he was the golden child.
Right.
And the financial mess they were in was so Dom could get into racing.
Right.
And so, cars and parts and all that stuff.
Right.
So he was kind of part of that problem. Not intentionally.
No. And he felt a lot of guilt for that.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of guilt.
He did.
Yeah.
But they ended up having to fight their way out of that situation. Dom locks himself inside the building so everybody else can escape, and he's fighting, 10, 15 guys?
Yeah.
And he's throwing them over like they're in this tunnel that just goes all the way down. And he ends up there's like a bridge in there, and he ends up just disabling the bridge, and they all just go falling.
Yes.
And you honestly think Dom's done for.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was no way he could survive that.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty crazy. Oh, we also do find out that Han's daughter is the key to Ares, because it was her father that had created Ares, and it was done with biometrics. So only her, I guess, DNA could activate it. So that's why they came in there. They took the girl, and so they have to go save her,
right,
and go get Ares. Oh, Han did kind of tell them about how he faked his death and how he was working with Mr. Nobody. And, Mr. Nobody was the one that got him involved into protecting this Ares key, essentially. Jacob also revealed that Mr. Nobody recruited him and that he worked for him for a long time before going rogue.
Yep.
And he told Dom, he's like, you know, how do you think he just stumbled upon you?
Right.
You know, he didn't just stumble upon you. I worked for him, and you know, he obviously knew who you were through me. So basically, at this point, we're looking at, you know, they're getting the final battle together.
Right.
And, you know, the plan and everything. Jacob launches a satellite into space that's going to, you know, basically take over the entire internet.
Right.
So part of the plan was to get that Pontiac Ferrero.
Yeah.
And launch the car into space to get to the satellite and use some of those electromagnets from the van to kind of pull it.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy. They had this Pontiac Fiero on the back of a plane with 3 giant jet engines on it, and they had to just launch it into space. It's a long way from the first Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's more like cops and robbers. You know, I've got to come after you because I'm a cop and you're stealing car stereos.
Right.
You know, drag races and all that stuff. This is
much deeper.
Very different.
Yeah, very different, for sure.
So Han and Dom's sister go and rescue his adopted daughter. Mm-hmm. And so that they're able to get her. But then the twist comes. So the person that Jacob had been partnered with, he had been speaking with Cypher while she was locked up because they needed Cypher's help with Ares and finding the pieces. Cypher talks him into double-crossing Jacob.
Yes.
And so at this point, Jacob finds out that they've double-crossed him and they've got some of the guys that was on his team coming after him. Mm-hmm. So there's like a bunch of car chases, and then now you've got Jacob on top of this giant tank fighting this monster of a dude.
Yes, huge. And Dom sees that.
Yeah. He gets thrown off, and Dom actually saves him.
Yeah.
He hits another car so that he can land on top of this car, which was, I wasn't expecting that.
No, that was so intense though.
You know, Jacob finds a car and he kind of takes off. Yeah. Like, I'm getting out of here. But the car that he took was one of Dom's cruise cars. So, like, he had radio availability on whatever frequency they were on, talking to each other. And Dom was trying to flip this giant truck. It almost looked like a train on wheels.
It was huge. Yeah.
But where Ares was, so they were trying to flip this thing, and Dom was the only one that was able to get to the front, and Jacob ends up coming back and helping Dom flip this vehicle, and basically teams up with his brother and sister.
He does.
Which was exciting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, Dom saves Jacob again from getting crushed by that vehicle as it flips.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Then you get Cypher coming back with a drone. She's firing missiles at Dom in that thing. And then Dom actually flips it again and blows up the drone.
Yeah.
And then she takes off. You don't see her again.
No.
So she's going to come back at some point.
She will.
And that's pretty much all the action.
Yeah.
Like it was
cool. Really intense. It was really good. The fighting was good. The action was good. I mean, the driving, everything. It was a really, really good show.
Yeah. At the very end, you know, you've got Dom and Jacob kind of talking it out. Mm-hmm. And Dom actually gives him, he says something along the lines of, somebody once gave me a 10-second car as a second chance. You at least deserve that. Mm-hmm. And gives him his car.
Yes.
And he takes off in it.
He takes off.
And then they all have a party at Dom's house.
Yeah.
At the end.
They do.
Once the fellas get back from space and everything, they end up just having a barbecue. And yeah, it was nice. It was fun. They really they did a great job with this movie. They did.
At this party, there was one seat that was left open.
Yeah.
And they were waiting for one person to show up at the party.
Yeah.
But we don't know who that is.
Yeah,
it never showed us.
Ends,
so we're assuming
on
Jacob.
A little bit of yeah.
I'm assuming it was their brother because someone did pull in.
Yeah.
So we just don't know who was in the vehicle.
I think the car looked like it was
purple.
Maybe
pretty.
I thought it was blue.
That was purple.
Purple, maybe a purple skyline.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like a Japanese car of some kind, but
nice.
Yeah, it was nice. But they don't show you who's in the car.
No.
But that's pretty much it. Broad strokes. I mean, that kind of is what happens in the movie. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Absolutely fantastic. We I think what did you say? What would you rate it?
Probably an 8.
An 8?
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
it was really good. The action, everything. It was just
I agree. I think it was a great installment in the franchise, and I think bringing in John Cena was a masterstroke because he did really well.
He did very, very well. Very good acting.
I think just overall, like the casting for the movie was also really good in that even the young versions of themselves that they cast look like young versions of themselves.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy. But yeah, fantastic movie. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well.
It's really intense.
It's mind blowing, honestly.
It is.
The action. We're not doing it justice, just kind of giving you the broad strokes, but we don't want to spoil everything.
Right.
That's just kind of the main story. But the effects were great. The acting was great, as always. And it was funny in parts.
It was. A lot of stuff was funny.
Yeah. I enjoyed this more than the last one, I think.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
So, but let us know what you guys think when you do get to see the movie. And, please do smash a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. And we will catch you all in the next video.
Bye, guys.